Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Apologies, there was an interruption in the connection. So, as I was
No
saying,
problem.
a noun is a naming word. That's a simple definition you can go by. Another definition which you can use is that it's a word which has a complete independent meaning of its own. It has a complete independent meaning of its own, and it is not connected with time. So when you look at a word which has a complete and independent meaning of its own, and it's not connected with the time, it's going to be a noun. So, for example, take the word rajul, asad, kitab. All of these words, when you hear them, you understand the complete meaning. Rajul, man; asad, lion; kitab, book. And they are not connected with time. There's no rajul, asad, kitab. They have no connection with time. They're not telling you about something which happened in the past or is happening now or will happen in the future. That's why these three words, they are asma. They are from the ism. Ism is a singular, asma is plural. Then we have fi'l. Fi'l is a verb, and so we can simply say that it's an action word. So anytime you hear or read a word which is an action word like daraba, yadrib, yansur, khud, you know it's a fi'l. You know it's a fi'l. Anytime there's an action in a word, it's a fi'l. And a more detailed meaning for it is that it is a word which has a complete and independent meaning, and it is connected with time. So a fi'l, like the noun, a fi'l like the ism, also has a complete and independent meaning of its own. When you hear the word, you understand the complete meaning. Daraba, hit; nasara, help, aid or help, aided or helped; khudh, take. Right? These words, they have a complete and independent meaning of their own. But the difference between these words and the ism is that they are also connected with time. ضرب past tense, يضرب present tense, اضرب future tense. طيب. يضرب can also be connected with future tense if it's used in that context, right? So in any case, a fi'l, it also has a complete and independent meaning, but it is connected with a time frame. So a noun has a complete and independent meaning, and it's connected with time. It's not connected, afwan. A noun is not connected with time. A verb also has, a fi'l also has a complete and independent meaning, and it is connected with time. Harf, or particle on the other hand, a very simple definition of it is, it does not have a complete and independent meaning. Does not have a complete and independent meaning. Meaning, when you hear the word, you don't understand the complete meaning. Fi. What does fi here mean? Does it mean on? Does it mean in? We won't know until we put it in a sentence. Ila, ala. These are huruf, these are particles. We won't know what they mean until we put them in a sentence. On their own, they do not have a complete and independent meaning. They do not have a complete and independent meaning. So now, for example, you can see that Abdullah Darraja. Darraja means a bike. Kataba. كتب يكتب على عن. You know that these first two, these are ism. Why? Because number one, they are naming words, they're names. Abdullah is the name of a person. Daraja is the name of a thing. Jamal, beauty. It's the name of a concept. Also an ism, name of a concept, of an idea. And they have complete and independent meanings of their own. When I hear Jamal, I understand something. When I hear Abdullah, I understand something complete. When I hear Daraja, I understand something complete. And they're not connected with time. That means that these are asma. Very good. Kataba, let's change the color here. Kataba yaktubu. Number one, they're action words. Kataba, wrote. Yaktubu can be used for present or future, but they show an action. Also, they have a complete and independent meaning of their own. When I hear them, I understand something complete, and they are connected with time. Kataba shows past tense. Yaktubu, depending on its usage, it can show present tense or future tense. Then, ala and an. Ala and an, I don't understand anything complete when I hear them on their own. Ala, an. So very clearly they are huruf. They do not have a complete meaning, a complete and independent meaning of their own. Their meaning is only understood after they're put in a sentence. So this is one way of identifying ism, fi'l, and harf. Whenever there is something in front of you, this is one way of identifying. Whenever you have, for example, a surah al-Fatiha in front of you, for example, how do you identify ism, fi'l, and harf? Like this. By remembering the definition and by applying the definition to those words. This is the first method. This is the first method. The second method is by way of alamat or markers. Alamat or markers, right? So, or we can say distinguishing features. Ism, nouns have their own distinguishing features. Fi'l has its own distinguishing features. Harf has its own distinguishing features. One very easy way to spot an ism is, so let's talk about the features. Let's change the color to something clear, something more clear. One. Yeah, here. Okay. So features of a noun, right? Ism first. One of the features of ism is that it can have al at the start. It has the ability to accept al. Jamal, I can say al Jamal. Daraja, I can say ad Daraja. Abdullah, I can't say Abdullah because it's already a proper noun. I can't say al Abdullah, but it's already a proper noun. Right? It's a proper noun. It's a name of a person. Al is added to make something definite. The word Abdullah is already definite because it's a proper noun. Those nouns which are confusing for you, whether you know they're nouns or not, you can try adding al at the front. If they accept al, they're nouns. Abdullah, clearly you know it's a noun, it's a name of a person. You might get confused with Jamal. So you can the word Jamal accept al? Yes, it can. Al Jamal, the beauty. That means it's a noun. That means it's a noun. Another feature of nouns is that they accept kasra at the end. They accept a kasra at the end. The scholars of Nahw tend to call it jar, right? So for example, إلى البيت. or ila baytin. Now bayti, al-bayti or baytin, these are accepting kasra. That means it's a noun. That means it is a noun. Another feature is them accepting tanween. Only nouns accept tanween. So when you see tanween at the end of a word, you know it's a noun. You know it is a noun. Only nouns accept tanween. So remember these three distinguishing features. Al-kasra and tanween. Al-kasra and tanween. What about fi'l? What about fi'l? Let's erase some of this. So in the case of fi'l, fi'l can accept قد. قد ذهب. Right? قد. فعل مضارع accepts سين and سوف at its start. سيكتب. سوف يكتب.
Sorry, repeat
سيذهب.
sorry. Repeat the first one again, please. I don't understand that.
No problem. The first one is قد. You can add قد in front of a verb. So قد ذهب الرجل إلى السوق. قد ذهب, the man indeed. قد means indeed. Right? You cannot add قد in front of a noun. You can't say قد عبد الله, قد دراجة, قد جمال. No. You can only add قد in front of a verb. قد ذهب الرجل. Number two, سين or سوف. سين or سوف. فعل مضارع. فعل مضارع. You can add a سين or سوف at the start of it. سيكتب, سوف يكتب, سيذهب, سوف يذهب. And in the case of فعل أمر, فعل أمر is an action word which has an order in it, right? It has an order in it. So how do you distinguish a فعل أمر? Number one, see, does it have the meaning of an order or a demand in it? And number two, does it accept a ya at the end? In the case of when you're ordering a female. So for example, uktub, write. When you want to tell a female to write, you will say uktubi, uktubi. This ya, it's called ya al-mukhataba. It's special to fi'al amr. Right? It's special to fi'al amr in the sense that it's special to fi'al amr in addition to the meaning of a demand. Talab with ya al-mukhataba. So when you find both of these things in a word, that word is a fi'al amr. When you find both of these things. So for example, uktub. Uktub. Uktub, right. Does it have the meaning of talab, of an order in it? Yes. Does it have the ability to accept this ya at the end? Can I say uktubi? Yes. That means it's a fi'al amr. That means it's a fi'al amr. All right. So yeah, go ahead.
I don't understand that. I don't understand it at all.
Okay. What's a fi'al amr?
Ada ya in there.
No, what's a fi'al amr in essence? What's a fi'al amr?
A verb that's, I don't know.
Okay, so verbs are of number of types. One of the verbs is called fi'al amr. It's a verb which you use to give someone an order to do something. Right? It's a verb.
Okay.
which you use to give someone an order to do something. I want someone to write something down. I will tell them, uktub, write it down. Now, for a beginner who sees this word in a book or hears it in a lecture, uktub, he wants to figure out which is this word an ism or a fi'l or a harf, and which type of fi'l is it. So we say to them, number one, ask the question, number one, does the word have the meaning of an order being given? So for example, when I say kataba, he wrote, is there the meaning of an order in it? No.
No.
Someone wrote it. But when I say uktub, does it have the meaning of an order in it? Yes. Okay. One sign is complete. Can it also accept a ya at the end? Yes. In the case of uktub. That means this word is a fi'l amr. A word which has both of these elements is called fi'l amr. Okay? A word which accepts a ya at the end, and it has the meaning of an order being given, that word is a fi'l amr. Very simple. So these are the features of a fi'l. These are the features of a verb. What about the harf? A very simple way to distinguish a harf is, see, do the features of ism and fi'l apply to it? No. In that case, that word is a harf. So by process of elimination, you can figure out the harf. You can see, does or do the features of ism and do the features of fi'l apply to it? No. So for example, ila, do the features of ism apply to it? No. It does not accept al, does not have a kasra at the end, does not accept tanween. Okay. Do the features of fi'l apply to it? No. It does not accept qad, does not accept sin or sofa. It does not have a meaning of an order in it, nor it does not have a meaning of order with the ya in it. Remember, in fi'l amr, both of these things should be valid. In ila, you don't find that. So ila is not a fi'l. That means, by virtue of the process of elimination, that means it's a harf. That means it is a harf. Very simply. So there are two ways for telling the difference between an ism and a fi'l and a harf. One is by way of definition. The other is by way of what? By way of
accepting kasra.
By way of looking at the features. By looking at the features of those words. Now, your homework for practice is this. I want you to take Surah Al-Fatiha. Okay?
Yeah.
And on a notebook, I want you to draw a table with 3 columns, like this. Okay? 1 column for ism, 1 column for fi'l, 1 column for harf. And then I want you to pick out all the nouns from Surah Al-Fatiha, put them in the ism column. All the af'al from Surah Al-Fatiha, put them in the fi'l column. All the huruf from Surah Al-Fatiha, put them in the harf column. This is for your practice. Try to apply the rules, inshallah ta'ala. Okay?
Yeah.
طيب. We'll stop here for today, inshallah. Barakallah feek for attending. Assalamu alaikum. Any questions, please send them to me, inshallah.
Wa alaikum assalam. I think I've seen